I am here with my best friend, Ilaria. And this is actually my first outing. Not my first outing. I've gone to the store and doctor's offices. We went to the park, but that was outside. But I'm finally at our house feeling a little sense of normalcy, even though, as you can tell, she does still want to protect me and herself, of course. But I am the vulnerable friend. So we are wearing our masks. And this is life in 2020. But I wanted to make a video and try to do something fun and quiz her. And we did not cheat. We actually wanted to go live with this, but it was just easier to do a video so that I can save it. No cheating. I did not prep her. I don't even know all the questions I'm gonna ask, so I'm a little bit nervous to see what her responses are. It feels so weird talking with like a mask on. I'm like, I feel like I can't really interact. You can't read my expressions. So, I know she's a teacher. She has to go back to school, so we already know the controversy with that. But anyways, so yeah, let's get started. First and foremost, we met when I was turning 16. It was literally, well, we met in high school at lunch. And so we hung around in high school, but like actually getting to know each other. She stalked me apparently. Getting to know each other was that birthday party, and like it's funny, we ended up like loving each other because of High School Musical and something called Rebelde. But anyways, so me personally, when I was 16, I honestly don't really remember. I don't know if you remember anything, but I was not vocal about being diabetic unless like an emergency happened.
No, I had no idea you were. Remember?
No, that's why I actually wanted to talk about it, because I really don't.
You told me that day that we prepped for your 16th.
Really?
Yes. You took out a jar of Nutella and started chugging it, and I was like, what is happening? And you like ran to the kitchen and you were like, I need Nutella, and you took like a spoon and you were like, and then you're like, well, I'm diabetic, and that's when you told me.
Oh my gosh, see? I don't even remember, so many years. So I'm 30 now. I got diagnosed at 15 months old. And again, we met when I was turning 16, but definitely in high school, I wasn't vocal about it. I did the right thing as far as like I had to go to the doctor's offices and get my, blood work done and stuff like that. But I also remember, I don't know if it was like a me thing that I chose to, or if it was like documented through the school, but I always had to go to the clinic after lunch, and that's where I would inject, because I was not on the insulin pump. I'm on the insulin pump now, but
that now is like the school tells you, like the kids that are diabetic now. Really? You have like a schedule.
I'm trying to remember if that was a thing. Like,
I'm sure it was. Like, I'm sure your mom was like, "Can you check her sugar after she?"
And I feel like it was too, because I remember one time I went straight to class and there was a phone call for me to go to the clinic.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What's happening? I didn't see you." And I'm like, "Oh, my bad."
They have to keep a log.
Yeah. So I think that is the only reason like I kept up with it during school, is because I had to go to the clinic and I had to take my shots. But unfortunately, I was typical teenager trying to hide it and feel normal. And also, though, I remember that even though I was hiding it, and I'll never forget, I don't know why this instant comes up, but I did not have the anxiety that I have now. And we were on our way to Disney Springs in our friend's car, and we stopped for gas, and my sugar was low, and I was like, hey, can you go inside and get me a Coke and a Snickers? And like I was just totally chill, just waiting for the Coke and the Snickers. I didn't have a sensor, I didn't have a pump, and I did my thing, and I ate it, and I moved on with life. But anyways, so going back, did you know if someone mentioned diabetes to you, like what it was?
No, I mean, I knew type 2. Like my great grandpa was diabetic and he would take pills.
So type
like
2.
I knew it was like a sugar thing, but not type 1.
Yeah,
it's different. So
okay, so when I told you, what were your feelings? What were your thoughts, if you remember?
There's no feelings. Like it was like somebody telling me they were gay. Great, that's good.
Yeah, like it's a thing. Yeah. I mean, it's like no big deal. That's what I mean. Like,
right.
It's not.
Yeah.
Like we tend to, obviously, we're nervous what people's reactions are going to be.
And I don't understand that sometimes, but I'm also like not diabetic, so like Because to me, it's like.
But
what
also
does
the
that
kind of
have anything
person
to
you
do-
are, because some people either I haven't had this experience. The only experience I've had with friendships kind of like dwindling is because they weren't understanding. Like, remember when I stopped saying like I wanted to go out, I didn't feel good, and I stopped saying like yes to going out and
Right.
stuff. They were just thinking I was like, I don't know, being standoffish, I guess, or like a flake, and it was in reality like I didn't feel good. So those kind of people, I kind of obviously like, you know, the friendships faded out. But I've been lucky with my friendships, like no one got scared and things like that. Let's see. Do you know what insulin I'm on?
Oh God. Wait, I know what you used to be on. Novolog?
Yes.
And then at night was something different.
Well, the reason
Right?
you think used to is because I'm always on it, but when I transitioned to the pump, you are only on fast acting. So now I am only on Novolog. Yes, but I used to either be on Levemir or Lantus.
Yeah.
Back
Oh
in the
yeah,
day.
Lantus.
Good
I remember
girl.
that.
I was not expecting you to
I
know
could
the name
smell
of
it.
that.
Like anytime there's a diabetic, I could spot them. Like if they're like putting insulin in, I'm like, where are you at?
Yeah,
Like I could smell
that
it. People are like,
terrible
what?
smell of, like, hospital. Let's see. I don't think I've let anyone. You have not pricked my finger or put a shot on me, have you?
I have to put a shot on you.
Did
Like, but you put it, and I just pushed when you had the pen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little like.
But I would be like, no, you gotta do it. I don't want to hurt you. Like I don't know.
Have you stabbed yourself with one of my needles?
No, but I've checked my sugar,
Yes, people do. Yes, that does happen.
and that hurt me. And I was like, oh no, she does this shit over there.
Where they ask to check the sugar. You always have to change out the needle. There was another one that I was gonna ask. You did okay. So type 1. You didn't think anything of it. It wasn't a big deal. I guess along my journey, without me influencing your answer, how would I word this, or how would I question this? Okay, do you think I like to be low or high more?
Hi.
Unfortunately. Behavioral.
Oh yeah, I could tell.
Have you like experienced the behavioral side of like just?
I could tell when you're
lows or
high because first of all, your mouth is dry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could tell. Like
Like
when you
at the very-
talk, you're super out of it. Like I could be talking to you and you're like thinking about something else. And then I've also seen like the high side of like getting grouchy and like just like sluggish and
Just irritable. Just
Yeah.
feeling gross. Yeah, those are some serious symptoms I've put people through that are close in my life. Have you experienced? And I know the answer to this because I remember this is like marked the start of my anxiety, but it might not be serious in your eyes, so I'm curious to see. Have you experienced a severe low with me?
yes, when that can I say his name?
Well,
I guess we didn't talk about that.
the good thing is you stopped halfway, but that is my high school sweetheart.
Yeah, when we went to Medici.
We did not reveal his
It was the
name, so it's
hookah
okay.
place.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Well, Medici's was a hookah place too. It
But
was
not
the
that
same
one. The
time,
one by Waterville Lakes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So I remember what happened. We had to leave. I don't know if you remember. Were you in the car with us when we had to go to Taco Bell?
Yeah.
It was like a whole nightmare.
We drove with you because Joey was with us too. But we came back to your house.
Yes.
So I remember that. So we must have just driven with, like, I drove to your house and then we drove one
Okay.
car.
Yeah. So, and wasn't it you that went downstairs to get me the Coke?
Yeah, I think so.
Somebody went downstairs. to
Sprite
get
or
me a
Coke. Or, I think it's Sprite.
And I didn't have a sensor and I didn't have a pump, but at that time I was trying to eat healthier and like work out and stuff. And so the problem with, not the problem, because there's a lot of people that are still MDI and multiple daily injections. For me, I guess that's when I started developing complications and I didn't know. So like my delayed gastric emptying, started to show up just a little bit. It wasn't huge in that time. But I was eating healthier, and what happens with multiple daily injections is once you put your long acting insulin on, you can't go back and correct it. So if for whatever reason you're gonna be running low that day, you're going to be running low you're going to be running low that day. And I guess that's what happened, because I remember I checked it and it was like in the 70s.
Yeah,
so it wasn't it wasn't low, but I was like, ooh, like it could be trending downwards, it could be stable. But I don't know.
It went double arrow down.
Yeah, it kept going down.
Yeah.
And then so you went and got me the Coke, and I just wasn't feeling good. And I think this was like the start of anxiety, because I could have stayed probably, but just the mental part of like, oh, we have to leave because of me, and we had to ruin the moment because they had to like go and get me a Coke, blah blah blah. So like we left, we went to Taco Bell, and I remember I got the little cinnamon twist things that I always get, and another soda. And because I thought I was stable already, I took insulin, and then I dropped again, and then my mom was waiting for me with like pancakes.
I remember
or
that.
something like that. And it was just a nightmare of a night, and that's kind of where
because then you went into like, I'm not hungry.
Exactly. I couldn't. Like, I could not eat anymore. Like, it was just bad. So that's kind of where the anxiety started. Okay. You've experienced... Now, this is tailored to, like, my personality. So obviously, you know, I'm real extra anyways, but... Traveling with a diabetic, you experienced a cruise when I didn't have a pump and a sensor.
Mm-hmm. We went to Atlanta.
So like,
it doesn't bother me. I feel like it bothers you, but you worry about it more than I ever.
Like, you don't see it as an extra thing.
No.
Like, I'm over here like, oh, we have to wait because, you know.
And I'm like, good, I need to sit. Yeah. Like, it's great. I feel like it comes from you more. When it comes like to me personally,
worrying
about it. I mean, other people might have different opinions about that, but for me, I don't care. I'm so go with the flow. Then I'm like,
yeah, it's true.
But I could
gonna be so easy.
I could see someone that's like super OCD and wants to do things a certain way when they're vacationing. That could bother them.
Yeah.
If you
like,
have to,
here
like,
we go. We have
or
to
like
stop
we
again,
have to cancel. We'll have to do it tonight. Like I've friends with people that are like. Which I can't vacation with them because I'm the total opposite. I like to go with the flow. I don't like things planned because they never go the way that's supposed to go anyways. And I feel like when you do things per the moment, they're the best times.
Yeah, true.
Like I get like scheduling tours and things like that, but like
an idea of.
Yeah, but not like minute to minute
kind
of thing.
That's true. That's true. What else was I going to? Me and diabetes and dating. I've dated some winners, haven't I?
You've dated a few.
Well, let me tell you, my experience. I put her through it, so she's lucky enough to still be with her. Well, it wasn't really high school. It was out of high school, right?
Right after high school, yeah.
So, right after high school, sweetheart. And they're actually getting married in December. So, me on the other hand, you know, I guess you could say chronic illness isn't for everyone realistically. You know, it's not for the weak. And I understand that. It sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you can't make people empathetic or understanding or, you know, as easygoing as you are. But I've had some guys tell me some pretty messed up things. Is that you?
Is it?
It's okay, yeah. It's
Sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. So,
I'm back.
What else? Hospitalizations. I haven't had anything too traumatic. Have you ever?
Oh, I think one time you stayed over that we've been like friends. I feel like I remember coming to see you, and it was around Joey's birthday. And I remember this because I wrote happy belated birthday, and you're like, today is his birthday. Belated means like it's late. I remember writing a post, and you were like, why are you writing belated? And you were at the, like, by Sanford, like the...
So maybe that's when I got diagnosed with gastroparesis, because that's when I stayed overnight.
The Orlando Health, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I literally don't remember, but that's when I stayed overnight, is when they were running all the tests.
That's the only time that I visited you at the hospital. Like, that you stayed.
Exactly, because I go to the ER, but I go in and I go out.
Right.
No friends can go there. Anyways. Have you ever felt nervous or worried for my outcome?
What do you mean?
It's not a trick question. Well, because, you know, people, and you're super positive, so you might not think this way, But every time like I get a bad result or a new complication, like do you ever think like, oh crap, like I might not have my friend for life? Or are you like really hopeful that like
No, I don't think that. I don't think I'm not gonna have you, but I did feel like, remember in December when they thought you had something else? What was it? You were both crying on the phone, and it was more of me like being tired.
This last one?
Yeah.
Where they almost removed my colon entirely?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was more of like, I'm sick that she keeps getting things when she's already dealing with something kind of feeling. But no, I never felt like, you know me though, I'm positive and I try not to do
Yeah, I know. I'm like, a lot of it's just been me this whole time. I don't know. What else? What else? I don't know. If you, as a friend to a type 1, I don't know if you feel any frustrations, I try to advocate and things like that and like break stigmas, but like if there's like one thing that you could tell people, like friends of type 1s or just regular people who don't have to deal with chronic illness, to like just raise awareness, like what would you want them to know and understand?
About diabetes?
Or just like life as a friend with a type 1 or type 1 or just...
I think life as a friend, I would say that believe your friend. Like sometimes not being a type 1, you might think like, there's no way she can't do that. Or,
yes.
Like, what do you mean she's like, and you can't do that because you're not type 1, so you don't know. So it's kind of like if she's telling you or he's telling you they're sick. Don't
especially
question
because
them,
it's invisible and things change like literally minute to minute and hour to hour. So 1 minute you could be totally fine.
Exactly.
And then
so that would be one. And then like awareness, I just feel like now it's bigger, but like when I first met you, like type 1 was not really talked about.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
we
feel
didn't have
like
this community at all.
If you know somebody that has type 2, it's completely different. So don't make those comparisons.
My grandma, my uncle died and he went blind. Like, oh my gosh, those are like
so
the absolute worst.
I think that's the stigma about it. I feel like everybody talks about type 2 and not type 1. I also feel like we're diagnosing more type 1 diabetics.
Oh yeah.
And maybe it's just the technology we have and, like the studies that have been done. But I feel like somebody getting it now would be different than when you got it and how they're being supported and all that type of stuff. So.
Oh yeah. One of the things that like, we talk about in the community, the diabetes Instagram, is like this network is so easy to just join Instagram and then have all the support. Like I didn't have that growing up. You know what I mean? Like, you had to go to diabetes camps, but that was pretty much it because they came from all over. And then once you left, like, you would never hear from them again. And we didn't have cell phones. I feel like so old saying that. But my age, because I've had it all my life.
But even like the connecting of your palm to your cell phone, or like
true.
None of that was
like even if you wanted to be on my sensor, you could. Like I just had to input your email and you accepted. And
like none of that was there when you were in high school. Even after high school, this is all brand new, which is nice, but.
Very true.
You didn't have that.
No, and I feel like my life would have been so different. Maybe I would have prolonged the I don't know if I would have prolonged the complications, but I just feel maybe I would still be dancing. I don't know. Had I had the technology that we have now, for sure, it is very different.
Yeah, you could have danced with your watch on and check your sugar.
Would you say, no wrong answer, it's okay. Take it like a champ. And I know my personal answer, but would you say, considering, even though I have complications and things like that, do you think I'm headed in the right direction, or do you think, like from the outside, as a friend and a supporter, there's things that you just want to like strangle me and be like, get it together?
The right direction for.
Like, am I getting better? Not necessarily like worse, but like on the outside from the things that and you've experienced me through the years. So I know that realistically, since high school, I've gotten better as far as like I go to all my doctors, I take my shots and stuff like that. But like, is there anything from the outside that, and again, it is hard because even though you've been in my life forever, you might not still understand like everything, but I feel like you know enough. Is there anything you wish that like I would do differently? Or like,
I don't think I wish you did anything differently. Sometimes I wish that episode would have never happened with your low. Because I feel like that's what gave you the anxiety that you had for a long time, and that was hard on you. And your social life. I mean, you retracted 100%. But I think with the community that you have built now, I think you're headed to the right direction. I think you see it more. I think you would focus on what people were showing instead of like really like seeing that they're just gonna show the good times and they're not gonna show what they're struggling with. And you've done such a good job on Instagram showing that I feel like more people now are showing it, and you could be like, okay, it's not just me.
yeah,
I'm not crazy.
I'm not alone and all that. Yeah, for sure. No, and I don't know why it triggered my memory when we were at Disney and I jumped off the monorail. I was like, don't go anywhere, because my sensor failed and I was 118 dropping. You remember that? We were at Epcot. And at first, I started off 300 because I had the slushy, which shot my sugar up, but then I had the ale, but we were walking a lot.
Oh, when we went to like Food and Wine.
And I took insulin right before going on the monorail, and then my sensor stopped.
Yes, I remember that now.
And then I was like, ooh, I feel weird. And so like the monorail doors are still open, and I checked my sugar, and I went from 310 when I started the walk. So I shouldn't have dropped that fast. And I'm sure if I had a sensor, it would have been like triple arrow down. And I get on the monorail and I check, and it was 118. And I was like, I called her and I was like, Turner, she was walking to the parking lot because I was at a different park. And did I say Disney? I keep saying monorail. We were at Disney. And I made her stop. And I think from my side, that's what like I'm most appreciative of, is having a friend that like doesn't make you feel like the night was ruined. Literally, we ended up going to Animal Kingdom and ending the night like beautifully. Like we did the safari and it was so much fun. And
we also have this thing with you. We feel like beer always brings your sugar down, which is so weird.
Because it's a carb. I know.
But every time you've had sips of beer, it's
the alcohol. Because alcohol drops. I mean, wine and like straight liquor, I've been told, I haven't messed with that, so I don't know, but drops you really bad. But because like I'm not a drinker,
right,
so like
it makes it
any little bit of alcohol, which is cool because the next morning I wake up fasting like beautifully, and it's like I should start drinking more. But yeah, it was tricky, a day in the life literally, because you know there's so many factors. And I think like what you said, you know, be understanding, because again, things change like all the time, and you know, you can't see it. So you have no option but to give your friend the benefit of the doubt. And of course there's people that will like milk it and use it as a crutch, you know what I mean? But I think they've been able to see that I was this go-getter, active person who my mind has just like slowly made me be like a turtle in a shell because of how afraid I am. And I don't even know how much more I am afraid of actually getting sick somewhere, or what other people are gonna think and ruining their time. And I think that's why, you know, and it actually happened recently. She had her bachelorette and I didn't miss it because of COVID. Initially, before COVID even happened, I obviously don't live here, so I had to choose which ones I was gonna make it to. I'm obviously not gonna miss the wedding. I'm not gonna miss the bridal. So I couldn't travel for all of them, so I forfeited the bachelorette. One of the reasons, though, and that's what I was going to touch up on, is like the first thing I think of is bachelorette. You want to get loose, you want to have fun, you want to, you know, have your drinks. I don't drink. What if I get sick? Why would I want to be a downer? You know what I mean? And so like that kind of helped me choose to like forfeit the bachelorette. But at the same time, it's a crappy mentality to have, because, you know, realistically,
you're not the only one that doesn't drink. You're not the only one that could get sick. I mean, anyone could have gotten sick.
Anything could happen.
with stomachache, with
Yeah.
a flu, with a fever, with, I mean, hopefully not with COVID-19 now.
No.
But
This is before.
I mean, this is like all the time though. It could be anyone at the table that gets sick at a restaurant. It could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I have to change that part of my mentality.
and I feel like you've kept friends that you know wouldn't bother them anyways. So you have your knit friend, you know, close friends that you could say, listen, I'm not feeling well, I'm gonna go. You know what I mean?
It's definitely gotten easier for me, for sure.
It's not like
with the people that are like,
Right.
I know, like 100
in your circle, right?
all the time. But I don't know. Still a work in progress, I guess. I don't know. Is there anything else diabetes related? I don't think so. I think that's what I wanted to ask. It's funny. I actually really want to ask you what insulin I'm on, and I can't believe you actually answered it. That's supposed to be a trick question.
I listen.
That's awesome. Well, wow, 26 minutes. Would you look
I
at
know.
that? That went by really
It did.
fast. Well, my friend is obviously easy and a good person, so sorry if this wasn't eventful.
Sorry if I didn't call
Well,
her
it's
a
funny because if you
raging
were
bitch.
if you were like a crappy friend, I'd probably be like, well, we're gonna stop that video and I'm probably gonna cut you off now. No, but yeah. See, so the point in the message is, if you have friends in your life that make it a problem,
They're not your friends.
cut them off. It's literally that saying, what is it? Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. It is literally that you shouldn't even feel any sort of like burden or heavy chest or
At all.
weight with your friends,
Right.
because this is your life. So take it or leave it, pretty much. And definitely, like, I have limited it, honestly, just to like 3 or 4 people that I can genuinely say after experiencing that when I'm around them, I don't feel that like heavy, like, oh God, I can't get sick, I can't get sick. Like, I don't want to cancel. Like, I don't want to, like, I feel easy, and I know that, like, if I have to text them and be like, hey, guess what? I just got sick, so it's not going to happen.
They're gonna text you back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like,
We'll
it's not going to be
reschedule.
an actual thing. I still have people in my life that I definitely think that on the other side of that phone, they're like rolling their eyes. But those are the people that you just
And
kind
some
of like,
people, you know, they might get frustrated at points, and it's fine. Like, it's life, you know. Like, but you can't.
like, naturally, if you're like excited for something and they're like, oh, bummer.
Right.
Like, what a bummer, you know? But nobody should ever make you feel bad about it. And I've had to cut plenty of people off like that for sure. So, well, thank you
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
for. No, thanks for having me.
On your
This
hot
is your
seat.
beautiful kitchen. Anyways, so me talking to my best friend about being a friend with type 1 diabetic. So, until next time.